Good morning. I have left Mount Vernon and I am actually right around the corner from my delivery. But I wanted to stop and take a quick look at my directions to make sure that I was in the right area. But I always love this. I figured I would say good morning to these fine ladies here. I don't see any gentlemen, I just see ladies. So check them out. This is what I love about Texas. There are always creatures that are interested in what you're doing. And look at this young lady right here. Okay? She's like, who are you, man? And what are you doing? So I just thought it was pretty cool. I'm on this little side street. I'm gonna go right down here to the end and make a right, and then I'll be over to my delivery right there. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty cool. I was stopping to take a look at directions, and these gals decided they wanted to come up and say hi. So always enjoy it. I am definitely not a city boy. I don't like the city. I would love to have a ranch somewhere and have a few head of steer and some horses. So yeah, check these gals out. They're just saying good morning. Look at it. Hi. Good morning. How are you today? You are number 70461. That's her number. So we're gonna get over there, get this load delivered, and let these fine ladies get back to their breakfast, because I'm sure that that's what they're eating right now. Catch you later. Bye. Good morning. I am in Jackson, Mississippi at the Loves. I'm here on a 34-hour reset. Loaded out of Baton Rouge at Oxbow Calcining, picking up some granules of Coke. It's like granuled Coke. And made it up here for a 34-hour, as I just said. And heading up to New Johnsonville, Tennessee. Left out of the Loves in Mount Vernon, went down to Winnsboro, Texas, delivered that rock, beat feet down to Baton Rouge, got loaded yesterday. And just a note, help yourselves a little bit. I wasn't supposed to load that till this morning, like actually right now. But I called ahead yesterday when I got empty, and I said, can I get loaded today rather than tomorrow if I can get in there? And the guy said, what time are you going to be here? I said, I'll be there about 3 to 3:15. He goes, get in here before 5 and we'll get you out of here. So actually worked out great. I got there exactly at about 10 after 3, and they were able to get me loaded and on the road. Hang on just a second. Let me put this coffee down. I just got a shower in here. And I'm going to grab my phone. Had to pick up some bungees. Got one that's about to tear on the back. So I'll submit that for reimbursement because Oakley reimburses for that. But anyhow, one of my subscribers, David Lawrence, asked, what's the bad at Oakley? And Tanner Sides put a video out about the bad at Oakley, a number of months ago. I thought it was pretty interesting. That he just kind of gave an honest perspective. And I'm out here in the back where it's nice and quiet. There's my wagon. But he gave a pretty honest perspective on what he thought was the bad at Oakley. So I'm going to kind of give my take on that. The bad at Oakley. Really? Going to think it's crazy, but I don't have any bad at Oakley. What I have, things that I find to be very frustrating, are trucking on the road and trucking in general as I get used to the bulk commodity world. But a lot of it is synonymous with all niches in our industry. I find it to be very frustrating when drivers are very rude and disrespectful. Whether it's merging on the highway, pulling over right in front of you after they go past you, swerving into your lane. Here's another one. One of the things that I just have a real hard time with, you're going down the highway in the left lane and you're doing the speed limit, say it's 70. You've got a truck driver in the right lane doing 60. A vehicle's coming up the ramp. That car has the yield, but yet these guys will come right over in front of you, making you drop from 70 to 60, like right in front of your bumper, to let that car out. Guys, the yield is for the car, not the hammer lane, okay? That's something I find to be very frustrating. Parking in these truck stops, we all know, is atrocious. Drivers taking 30-minute breaks on the fuel island. Drivers taking showers on the fuel island. Guys, have some respect. I know, gosh, it's been going on forever. We talk about it a lot. Have some respect for other drivers that are trying to get in and get out and get on the road. I know it's tight. I know it's a problem out here on the road trying to find parking. I get all that, but have some respect. Do your best to get off there. And I'm talking about when I pull into a truck stop and that truck stop has 30 open spots and you're on that fuel island. Get off the fuel island. Okay, that's troublesome. In regard to end dump operations, I did this about 20 some years ago for about 6 months to a year with a local company in Ohio. That was a much different setup. Framed dumps, all local work, but we were hauling fluff and scrap and rock and everything else. But there we had triaxles. Here at Oakley, I have tandems, not a spread. Okay, what I would find to be frustrating about Oakley is that, and I'm a new guy, 2 months, but I've seen this on their Facebook page before, that there's men coming straight out of orientation that will get a spread, and there's guys that have been here for a long time that don't have a spread yet. They could probably do a little bit better job of distributing those spreads to people that have been here, and I'm not trying to cut in front of that, because I'm sure there's men and women that have been here longer than me. I've only been here 2 months. That don't have a spread. And I know it's got to be kind of a logistical nightmare to get guys in, get guys out, just to get them a spread when they have guys all over the country and people coming out of orientation on a certain day that need a trailer. So I don't want to sound too petty about that and whiny, but I give you an example. Yesterday, where I loaded at Oxbow, they overloaded me by 4,000 pounds. And I was 34,000, well, actually I was 38,000 up on the drives. I was 84,000 total. All the weight was in the front. Okay, fine. I had to come back around, and this is part of bulk trucking in general. I had to come back around, and I had to dump 4,000 pounds out of that coal chute to get that 4,000 pounds off to go get to 80,000. Well, here lies another problem. When I raised the trailer, the product all leveled out in the trailer. I went back up to the scale, okay, and it worked out great. I was like 33 and some change on the drives, but I was about 600 to 800 pounds over back here on these tandems. And if I had a spread, I would have been perfect. 38,000 pounds, I'm good to go. But instead, I was 34,000, like 600 and some change. I'm not going to leave with that. So I'm up there in the trailer with a shovel. Like I've talked before, I don't mind the exercise. But I'm slinging this granuled coke. And I don't know if there's any little bits left up here on the trailer or not. I think they've all blown off. But I highly doubt you guys can see this, but there's little granules like that. Okay, I don't know, can you guys see that? Anyhow, I'm up there shoveling 600 pounds from the front, or from the back to the front. If I would have had a spread, I could have buttoned this thing up and boogied down the highway. Wouldn't have had to have even messed with that. So I find that to be a little bit frustrating, but again, I don't mind the work. I enjoy the work, okay? But that's true of any bulk carrier. Okay, you can't slide the tandems, you can only slide your fifth wheel. My fifth wheel's set where I can get weight up onto the steers. That scrapyard that I was in the other day, okay, I don't like the scrapyards very much. Okay, I know a lot of guys don't like them. Of course they don't. Tires, you can cut a tire in there. Some of them aren't the cleanest. The people, for the most part, that I've been in with the scrapyards have been decent. Okay, haven't had anybody really rude in a scrapyard. Okay, most of them have been very helpful. But like when I delivered the aluminum the other morning up in Sapulpa, I got in there, and this is just trucking waiting, okay? But they moved that pile, as you saw in a previous video, so I could go dump. But then the guy's like, well, we're gonna have you wait because we're unloading this van trailer right here. And he's across from where you're gonna dump, and he was well away. So we're gonna go ahead and get him out of here before you dump, so you don't hold him up. Well, it took them probably the better part of 45 minutes to an hour to get that truck empty. In that 45 minutes to an hour, I could have dumped, cleaned out, and been gone 20 minutes down the road, okay? And I even mentioned to the fellow, very politely, I could be done and gone before you wrap him. He goes, no, we'll have him done really quick. Well, his idea of quick and my idea of quick are two different things. But that's the customer, it's fine. Yeah, you're not gonna argue with them. You just say, yes, gotcha, let me know whenever you're ready. Okay, I'm not going to be contradictory. It's not worth it. Okay, but that kind of ate into my clock, which if you go back, I missed delivering in Winsboro, Texas by about 5 minutes. And I could have had that load of rock off that day instead of the next morning. Had I had that 45 minutes back, I would have been into Winsboro, Texas at 4:15 to 4:20, not 5:05. I could have easily delivered and been 2 hours down the road to Baton Rouge, and I could have had this load on earlier in the day rather than 3:15 in the afternoon, and been up here closer for my 34-hour reset and started it a lot sooner than I did. I find that to be kind of frustrating. But again, these fellows going to these grocery warehouses, these distributors that have van trailer and these reefers, okay, no. Paying somebody $300 to offload your trailer and sitting there for 10 to 15 hours, at least we're getting demurrage if we're sitting that long. Okay, in most cases, 80% of the time, we're getting detention. So they can have those warehouses. I'll still take the 45 minutes to an hour at a scrapyard or at OC, Owens Corning, where we do get detention. Okay, I gotta tell you, at Oakley, the bad at Oakley, I don't have any bad at Oakley. Okay, I get treated with respect. I get treated like a professional. I get treated the way that I treat people, and I tend to think that even if I treated somebody poorly here, which I don't, I would still be treated professionally, but they would bring me in and say, Jim, we need to have a conversation about the way that you're coming across or the way that you're dealing with our employees. And if there's a problem, we need to discuss it, or perhaps maybe we should consider, there may be something that's outlying causing this, or Oakley may not be a good fit for you. if we're being that way. But I haven't had that issue, okay? So I get treated with respect. The pay is very good, okay? I can't complain about the pay, as I said in my last one. As of close of business last week for the check that paid Friday, I've grossed 58, I've netted 38. I think that 66% is what I'm getting, my net to my gross. I just ran all of my miles and my net, and that's $1.72 a mile for all the miles that I've driven. It's $1.72 net. So I can't complain about that. That's very good. The freight that we haul, it's bulk commodities, which I'm not an expert, is it's just bulk freight, okay? You're gonna take what you can put in this trailer and you're gonna get it done, okay? My dispatcher, Kyle, I've said this in previous videos, is doing a phenomenal job. Gotta let you guys know, when I deliver this load tomorrow, I will be at 3,717 miles for the week, and I'm doing a 34 right now, okay? I can't complain about that. You know, the trailer, if I have an issue with the trailer, they're getting it fixed right away, or I go get it fixed, send in for the reimbursement. Okay, so the equipment is great. The only thing I wish, do I have a spread? Yeah, I'd kind of like to have a spread. Okay, but then that's, you know, hey, it is what it is. This is a good trailer. It pulls great. It operates wonderfully. I've had no issues with it. Okay, the brakes, the airlines, everything is good. The tires are good. Lights, everything. This is a very well functioning trailer. So I don't want to complain too much, because I could get a spread that would be nothing but problems. I don't think so, but I don't really get too spun on the weeds on that. Okay, my home time, guys, my routine, I go out the second, third, and fourth week of the month, whatever those do, 3, 4, okay? And I take off the first week. Whatever week has the first Monday in it is the week that I take off. That's kind of what my wife and I have discussed. That's going to be a routine that works out really good for us. And they get me back when I need to get back. Okay. I tell Kyle I want to be home on Friday. Okay. Just Friday during the day sometime. Some cases he got me home Thursday, which is great because I was up against hours. But I know if I tell him I want to be home Friday, he's going to get me home on Friday. Or we're going to discuss it a day or two out. Hey, Jim, you know, I've got this. I'm going to maybe Saturday. Is that okay? Yeah, Saturday's fine. Okay, I'll just go out the next Saturday. My routine is in Friday, out the next Friday. Okay, so I have 3,717 miles for the week. I have whatever miles I'm going to have this week before I get home Friday, because I'm going to be home this coming Friday. And I'll be at probably 12,000 to 12,500 miles for the month. And this has been a 4-week month because there were 5 weeks in between my last time out. So that's the way it's worked out. And then obviously next month is Thanksgiving. So I can't complain about that. I really don't have any gripes with Bruce Oakley Trucking. Okay, in the 2 months that I've been here, they've been very good. Okay, the men and women that work here, as far as drivers, have been very helpful and great. Okay, the trailer has been great. Dispatch has been great. Management has been great. If I've needed help with something, okay, they've been very quick to jump in and help me out. If I had a question about something, pick up a phone, call somebody, ask them. Okay. Even there's been times where I know I've called the shop and I've talked to the shop manager, Toby, on 2 or 3 different occasions, and I could tell the man's busy. And he's like, oh gosh, I got a driver bothering me. He didn't say that, but you know that he's busy and I'm interrupting something he's doing because we're all trying to get stuff done. But that's not a bad thing, okay? He took the time to answer my questions that I had, respectfully, professional, like what fluid exactly do we use in those reservoirs if I have to pick some up? You know, and a couple of other, how do I fix this seal that's in the back of the trailer? Do you just use regular silicone? I just want to make sure I don't want to mess anything up, because I had to do that, as you know, a few weeks back. The weather seal behind the door came out. Okay, so I've had to ask those few questions, been very respectful, okay? But I know we're all busy. I try not to take up too much of their time. So I really don't have any gripes or complaints. It's generally trucking that I have some gripes and complaints about. And that is mostly because I don't have a tolerance for ignorance, okay? I'm not very patient to that, okay? Again, be kind to everyone because everyone's going through something that you know nothing about. However, that doesn't mean you park right in the middle of a parking lot and block up the entire parking lot so somebody can't get out. Be kind to a point, okay? But at some point, you have to have some respect for those people around you. And a lot of drivers anymore don't have that respect. I don't like that. Okay, on the highway, drivers don't have respect. I don't like that. Okay, people are rude and inconsiderate, but that's just our society in general anymore. can't really blame it on the drivers. It's everybody, and I don't like it. But, I'm sure a lot of people don't. I'm not alone in that, but that is not Bruce Oakley. Bruce Oakley treats you with respect. So, David, I hope that answers your question. I'm sure that if I go forward and I have something that's a real conundrum, I'm going to post it, okay? One of the things that I've seen with Bruce Oakley is if it's true and it's honest, they don't stop us from saying it as long as it's professionally represented and it's constructive, okay? But I don't really see that happening, okay? There might be something that I have an issue with as far as Oakley, but if things continue as they are now, and with the fellow that I know that's a good friend of mine that's been here for over a decade, it's just trucking. It is what it is. You're going to have some delays sometime. You're going to have breakdowns. That's the truck. That's the trailers. That's not Oakley, okay? There's not really an issue with Oakley. It's just things on the road, okay? But one of the great things about Oakley, look at this hat. This is the other hat that I got. You got to love it, man. I got 3 hats from Oakley already in 2 months. That thing's cool, man. So, a little bit of a gee whiz thing there. But I hope this helps you out, David. It's not Oakley that I have frustrations with, okay? It's sometimes life on the road, okay? But with something like these with a 34, you're like, hey, you're doing a 34 on the road all the time. I choose to do a 34 on the road. I could go home every weekend if I wanted to. Okay, where I live in Northeast Ohio, with End Up, I could be home every weekend. I don't want to be home every weekend. I truthfully like taking that block of time, and when I'm out on the truck, I focus on being out on the truck. I actually find it's more productive and more profitable, and it was said to me once that if you're not sitting around and you're managing your log correctly, and you're hitting a 34-hour reset every 5 to 6 days, which I am, and you guys know that, you're working. Okay, you're working. And they're keeping you pretty darn busy, which means that truck is moving. Guys, I manage my log very efficiently. I'm not saying that I'm the best at it, but I manage it very efficiently. I do the best that I can to operate at the speed limit, guys. I'm not blasting it out here, running 80. I don't do that. Okay, I don't want to burn up all the fuel, so it's not profitable. Okay, but I'm managing my log very professionally. And I'm coming up on 34s every single week, which means that there's no sitting around where I'm just maintaining all these work hours. The faster I get to a 34, the more that I know I've worked. So I actually look forward to the 34, kind of like today. Okay, I kind of like having the break. So that's my answer, David. I know this has been a little bit longer. It's put 17 minutes right now, okay? But Oakley's been good, okay? If I could complain about not having a spread, that would be probably one of my biggest complaints, okay? But that's just kind of me just complaining, all right? I'll get one eventually. It's fine. It is what it is, okay? I'm not trying to jump the line. Again, I'm sure that there are men and women that have been here longer than I am or have been that are waiting for a spread also, okay? So no big deal. And truthfully, I'm actually considering going into pneumatics here in about 2 months. Okay, more than likely that's what I'm going to do. So I'll be leaving the End Up division, going into pneumatics, and I won't have a spread there, so whoop-de-doo, okay? I'll be pulling a tank, which has tandems, and I complained about a spread 60 days. I'm going to be running a tank anyhow, more than likely, that you're not going to have tandems or a spread there anyhow. So, I'm going to get a spread, and I'm going to pull it for a month, and then I'm going to switch possibly. That's not etched in stone, but I'm really seriously and heavily considering that. So, anyhow, you guys take care. I'm going to get this out. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe. Thank you to my subscribers. I genuinely appreciate it. To my new subscribers, thank you very much. Okay, John, it was pretty cool to be in your backyard the other day. You live in a beautiful area up in Oklahoma. Thank you for emailing me and sharing that. Man, I tell you, just what a gorgeous drive down 59 and down through, I think it's the Wachita National Forest. Gosh, what a beautiful trip down through there, heading down to Texas. And thank you for emailing me and letting me know that's your area, and that if I ever had a problem, I could reach out to you, and you would try to get some help out to the truck if I had a truck issue or whatever out in that area. Thank you, sir. I genuinely appreciate it. And David, thank you for asking the question about the bad at Oakley. Okay? I would encourage you guys to go back to Tanner's video from a number of months ago where he had the bad at Oakley. Tanner Sides, okay, SIDES, and check it out. You guys take care. Bye-bye.